Hello, and welcome back to Resilient Walk. If you found your way here today, perhaps you're carrying the weight of a betrayal so deep it has shaken the very foundation of who you thought you were. Maybe someone you loved completely has revealed that the life you built together was built on lies. Maybe you're questioning not just their love, but everything you believed about your own life. Now, let me tell you about a man named Matthias, and a lesson that came to him through the kind of betrayal that changes everything you thought you knew about your own story. Our story begins in a house on Maple Street, where love lived alongside the deepest of deceptions. Matthias thought he knew the shape of happiness. For 12 years, it had looked like Saturday morning pancakes with his family, Ella flipping them perfectly while 8-year-old Lucy set the table and 10-year-old Jake stole bites of batter from the bowl. It sounded like bedtime stories read in voices that made the children giggle, and quiet conversations with Ella after the kids were asleep. He was a successful business consultant, sharp at analyzing markets and building partnerships. His company had grown steadily, giving them a beautiful home, private schools for the children, and vacations to Europe each summer. "We are so lucky," Ella whispered at night. "Look what we built together." Matthias believed her. Why wouldn't he? Lucy and Jake called him Dad with easy affection. He bandaged scraped knees, solved homework troubles, offered comfort during storms. His love wasn't naive, it was complete. When Ella mentioned her book club friends, successful investors with opportunities to multiply their savings, Matthias listened. She was flushed with excitement about a man named Marcus who promised financial freedom. Lucy and Jake could have full scholarships, she said. We could give them everything. The paperwork looked legitimate. The references were impressive. Most of all, Ella believed in it. Matthias signed, transferring their savings, liquidating his portfolio, even taking a business line of credit. For a month, Matthias felt proud. He imagined Lucy's Harvard graduation, Jake's future secured. He trusted Ella, their love, their life. But trust, he was about to learn, can be the most dangerous thing when it rests on lies. One Thursday, Matthias came home early with dinner reservations in mind. The house was silent. On the table lay a manila envelope in Ella's handwriting. Inside, divorce papers and a letter. "Matthias, by the time you read this, the children and I will be gone. I never meant it to go this long. Marcus and I have been together for 3 years. He's Jake and Lucy's real father. I was pregnant when we married. You were kind, ready to love us, and I let you believe Jake was yours. When Lucy came, she was Marcus's too, but by then you loved us so completely I couldn't break it. You were a good father to children who weren't yours. Marcus runs a successful firm. The money we took isn't gone. It's the foundation of our life as a real family. He can give the children more than you could. Don't try to find us. They know the truth now. I told them it was time they had their real family. I'm sorry. You were a good husband, Matthias. You just weren't the right one." Matthias read the words until they blurred. 12 years of marriage. 10 years of fathering children who weren't his. Every scraped knee, bedtime story, and birthday built on deception. Ella hadn't just taken money. She had taken his children, his fatherhood, his very identity. That night Matthias sat in Jake's empty room, surrounded by trophies, artwork, childhood relics. A father's love poured into children who had been told he was never their real father. How do you grieve children who were never yours? How do you mourn a family that was never real? Something inside him shattered. This wasn't heartbreak. It was the death of the story he thought was his life. 6 months passed. Matthias lived in a small apartment above a bakery. He'd lost his business to bankruptcy. Colleagues asked about the children, prep school, writing lessons. He changed the subject, unable to explain. Every memory seemed false. Every relationship suspect. Exhaustion clung to him. One afternoon in the park, an old man sat beside him. "You look like a man wrestling with ghosts," he said. Matthias almost left, but stayed. "My whole life was lies. My wife, my children, my work. I spent 12 years being a father to children who weren't mine, building wealth for a woman who planned to leave me. I don't know who I am anymore." The old man nodded. "I fostered children for 30 years. 47 kids. People told me not to get attached. But love isn't about blood or paperwork. Love is about what you pour out. When those children left, they took something I'd given and left something I'll always carry. The love was real, even if the arrangement was temporary." "But I was deceived," Matthias said. Were you a real father to them? Matthias thought of Jake climbing into his lap after nightmares, Lucy showing her first lost tooth, bedtime stories ending with "I love you, Dad." "Yes," he whispered. "Then it was real. The comfort you gave, the man you were in their lives, that was real. Ella's deception doesn't erase that. It just makes it painful, but not false. How do I live with that? Remember that love is never wasted, son. Even when it's not returned as you hoped. Even when it's built on lies. The love you gave changed them. She can take them away, but not what you gave." As the man walked away, Matthias felt something shift. Not healing yet, but the faint recognition that his love hadn't been meaningless. Matthias began rebuilding. Not just his business, but his understanding of love. He grieved deeply, the birthdays he'd miss, the graduations he'd never see, the family legacy that was gone. But slowly, he reclaimed what remained. His mind was still sharp, his gifts intact. He began consulting again, one client at a time. He mentored young entrepreneurs. When Maria, 25, struggled with her business plan, Matthias guided her. "It's a good foundation. Let's make it stronger." He realized his capacity to nurture hadn't died, it had been refined. Later, Matthias worked with David, a widowed father running his wife's agency while raising 6-year-old Emma. Matthias stayed for dinners, helped Emma with homework, read her stories. "You're really good with her," David said. "And you saved my business." Matthias smiled. "I had some practice once." In time, David invited Matthias to become a partner and part of their family. Matthias said yes. Emma called him Papa Matthias, a gift freely chosen. 2 years later, Matthias received a letter from Lucy, now 12. "I know Mom says you're not our real dad, but you felt real to me. I don't understand why that has to be fake now. I miss your pancakes. I miss feeling safe." Matthias wept. He had been real to them. His love had mattered. He wrote back, telling her she was loved, worthy, and that his love had never depended on biology. Matthias learned that love is never wasted, even when built on lies. He had been a real father, regardless of DNA. His love had shaped hearts, and betrayal couldn't erase it. Perhaps you too have discovered that your life was built on deception. Perhaps you wonder if any of it was real. The truth is this: your love was real. The care you gave was real. The comfort, the joy, the family you thought you built, your part was genuine, even if others deceived you. Their lies don't make your love false. Their betrayal doesn't erase your goodness. The people you loved were changed by it, whether they admit it or not. You weren't foolish for loving. You weren't naive for trusting. You were human. Betrayal reveals their character, not your worth. You are not defined by lies. You are defined by how you loved in spite of them. Trust yourself to love again, but with wisdom. Build family again, but on honesty and choice. Your capacity to love is a strength, not a weakness. The love you gave lives on in the hearts you touched. That cannot be taken. Rest knowing your love was real, even when everything else was not. Thank you for walking with me today. Until next time.